Good morning, dear friends. My name is Clive Thompson. It's Friday, 29th of August 2025. Well, it's another day and another record. Yep, that's right. If I'm sounding like a broken record, it's because we are breaking records. Once again, Wall Street hit records last night. We didn't have very big gains, very small gains, 0.3% on the S&P 500, 0.4 on the Dow, and 0.2 on NASDAQ. But nevertheless, the indices managed to break all-time records. This is the third day in a row where the S&P 500 has hit a new all-time high. The advance was led by energy, financial, and technology yesterday, but over the month, we've had this large rally of 4.2% in the S&P 500. Virtually every sector was rising. In the major sectors, the biggest rises came from the technology sector, up 6.8%, and energy with 5.4%. But the real outperformer was the basic materials sector, up 8.32%. And that basic materials sector includes the gold miners and the silver miners, which I've talked about, which remain a very undervalued part of the market. Yesterday, Lisa Cook, the Federal Reserve Governor, sued President Trump. Now, Lisa Cook was the lady who was on the 7-man board of governors and who has been fired by President Trump. She's suing him in a federal lawsuit in the District of Columbia, and she's alleging that Trump's firing of her was illegal. She says it lacks constitutional authority, and she says his action is unprecedented and illegal. And to prove the point, she's citing the Federal Reserve Act, which grants governors a 14-year term and insulates them from political interference. So no president has previously attempted to fire a Federal Reserve governor. So clearly this is a legal battle which will be watched very closely, because it's going to show to what extent the Federal Reserve will be able to maintain its independence from political interference. So the court case, it's an accelerated court case. It'll be heard next Tuesday, next week. And Cook is requesting emergency relief. She's also brought into the lawsuit the chairman, I'm not sure why, Jerome Powell, but maybe that's because he's the one who would have to officially fire her if he was told to do so by the government, by the president. I don't know. But anyway, no response from President Trump so far. Obviously, the White House is maintaining that the president has broad removal powers. Now, this could be a very lengthy legal battle, which might go all the way to the Supreme Court. So guess who makes the money? It's the lawyers. Elsewhere, we're looking around at the various sectors. So if we look at the bond sector, let's see how US bonds are doing at the moment. Well, the very slight increases in bonds of all maturities in the USA. The 2 years yielding 3.635%. That's reflecting the high probability that interest rates will be cut in the September meeting. The 10-year is at a higher rate of interest, a higher yield of 4.21, and the 30-year is at 4.88%. In the UK, the 30-year is at 5.57, just slightly down from the 5.60 yesterday, and the 10-year is at 4.70. Japanese yields on the 10-year is at 1.60 and the 30-year 3.192%. So in stocks, yesterday we saw strong performance from all the FANGs or Mag 7, I don't know what we call Mag 7, maybe it's Mag 10 now, but nothing special, but they were up anything from 0.25% to just over 2%. For example, Broadcom rose 2.8%. Amazon rose 1% as an example, but Apple, Amazon, Broadcom, Berkshire Hathaway, Google, JP Morgan, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, Nvidia were, well, Nvidia wasn't up, Netflix, all of those were up. Nvidia was down 0.75%, and I'm seeing it's down in aftermarket trading today as well. So it closed yesterday at 180.17, and if I look at the aftermarket trading here, let's just bring that up. It should be down a fraction, 5-day trading. Yeah, it's down about 179 now, slightly below the 180 close. Oracle's up, Palantir's up, the S&P 500 we just said is up. Tesla's down 1%, and Visa's down 0.25%. In the gold mining sector, the ETFs which track the stocks of the gold mining sector were down 0.25 or 0.5%. The silver ETFs were up typically 0.75%. That's the SIL, and the GDX was down 0.25%. Now, gold mining stocks have been performing very well this month, but they all came off yesterday. But I'm pleased to see that the two top picks that I put on my list were hitting, which on the video I did the other day, are hitting all-time records in Australia this morning. Other news, the imports, or the de minimis rule for imports to the United States, which was $800, where you could import stuff for less than $800 and pay no duty, is now gone. Anybody who's buying stuff from China via Etsy or Temu or eBay or one of these websites where the stuff comes into the country will now have to pay at least an $80 surcharge on the imports. Gifts below a certain amount are still exempt, but if you're buying stuff, it's going to cost you a lot. So post offices around the world are struggling to know how to deal with this because they are responsible for collecting the tariffs on behalf of the US government. So where we are now, shipments to the America of parcels from commercial parcels have been halted while post offices try to figure out how they're going to pay these duties and actually manage it. So that's basically all I've got for news today. We'll speak again tomorrow. If you like this, please click the like and subscribe button. I'll try to answer some of your questions in the next few hours. Sorry if I don't get to all of them, and thank you very much for the nice comments yesterday.